Hey, lovelies. You knew this was coming. Those of you that didn't, shame on you. You should have known better. Yeah, of course, Myst Revelation. The fourth one. This is one of those wonderful hard copy only ones because, yeah, you just have to dig it up. Made, developed, distributed? Yes. By Ubisoft. Heavy guidance from Cyan, so it's keeping very true to the lore. Good news, though. I might gripe that it's only hard copy only. It's, in the works. I did find out that the, Cyan folks are doing pretty much everything they can to get these things on digital release. These things being Revelation and 3, which is Exile, yes. So, it's a fabulous thing. No compatibility problems I experience, which is a lovely step up from the original Myst and trying to get that one to work. Bless it. Alright, well, let's go in here. Okay, here we go. As you can see, we've got the Myst standard pre-rendered backgrounds. Absolutely fabulous. A little bit more immersive in that there's a good bit more animation and lighting in them. Also built on the previous style that, looking around, which without it, you would get nowhere. It is one thing that it does improve on with this. Customizing your cursor speed or opacity, I turned mine way down and probably shot myself in the foot for a lot of the puzzles. Because it changes to let you know you can go. And I just turned it down because it bothered me. And that's my own thing. Another thing it does in here that I also probably shot myself in the foot is it has a built-in hint system. Which is probably nice, but I got frustrated and looked for hints elsewhere. Who doesn't look for hints in Myst games? Oh my gosh, especially when you play through this one, you will understand what I mean. Let's see. Other new toys that the game gives you. There's the camera. Because with it you can totally take anything but selfies. But it's good because it lets you take pictures of hints rather than practicing your art skills with them. Do I have any? Do I have any pictures on my little viewer? I have that one. And nothing else. Okay, well. You can flip through your pictures. Not that I can really illustrate it. Let's see. Oh, where's the other toy? Here we go, recenter so I can look around. There's more toys, but I'll get to those later. Unlike the first game, and a little bit more like the third, this is one of the games in the series that is just as much plot and interaction driven as it is discovery driven. I mean, Myst was... the first one was almost completely discovery. You figured things out. This one, you have people. You get to talk to said people. That will advance the story. Sometimes you have to find the people. No, it's not hide and seek, but sometimes it feels like it. And with the plot being so really necessary, well, with the people being so necessary to the plot, it's actually visiting upon characters that you're familiar with, ones that you saw, met, or heard about in the first... mostly the first game. I mean, it definitely respects its roots, and it manages to stay very well connected for that. And they're not even hints like wink wink, nudge nudge, hey, remember that? No, they're pretty plot integral words. Another thing that is kind of popping up here is it's totally got a where your cursor is the focus thing, and that totally tripped me out at first, but I like it! Let's see, where are we going? Let's go find that other toy I was talking about. Okay. So here's our new toy. What's this thing? This little necklace.
The poor thing. Sarah said he tried everything he could, but it just didn't like living in his garden. A few days in here, and I bet you it will look much better.
It's a necklace of memories. Gives you all sorts of hints of things and helps expand the story without you reading pages and pages of books, which I don't mind reading pages and pages of books, but not everybody keeps a journal of every little detail of life. And honestly, sometimes it's the mundane details that exhibit the most humanity, I believe. But that's my opinion. Alright, but this is Myst. It's about exploring worlds and books, right? Let's go find some books. Books. The red book and the blue book. Again, it gives its subtle nods that are not so in your face, which I like. And, yeah, let's check out... Which one are we going to first? We're going to the red book first. The red book is also called Spire. Luckily it has all its pages already. How nice. I love these flight intros. Establishes the world very well. Also gives me a sight of things of, ooh, can I get to that? But you can see pretty well, first impressions are very fitting of this place. It is very cold, very ethereal, very quiet, except for the wind. Personally, I'd die of boredom. Well, not boredom. No, I'd probably die of boredom after I got through playing with rocks, if I didn't starve first here. But much like the original Myst, you do explore it and find the story of the world, which you don't have the usual accompanying journals and history and story of the creation of the world. You piece it together by what little journals you have here, which are mostly survival guides, and even then, they're kind of scattered around everywhere. So good luck piecing the hints together, mainly because since the world was not built with the sole purpose of teaching me something and educating me about how this stuff works, the hints were not that blatant. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not gonna be that elitist about it, and no, I'm gonna go ahead and admit I had so much trouble with the puzzles in these games. There was so much snarling and words to be said. Go. What did I do? Did I break it? Go. Go. Oh, I didn't pull it all the way. I will never get over the feel of the, almost electro steampunk that we've got going on with all the machines and all these worlds. Just gonna put that out there, but that's more of a love of the design of the series. But the cool thing is, in this one, you're doing a lot more learning your way around, not of the total history of the world, but more learning the properties of the world, if that makes any sense. Because it's not just a matter of flip this switch and open that gate and all this, it's, It's, how does this work in this world? How does everything work in this world? What are things? Is that even water? I don't know if that's water. It looks kind of gross. Meanwhile, spore pods. Maybe I wouldn't starve here. Going over here. Just to illustrate my point that the notes are everywhere. Everywhere. Randomly on the ground. Randomly stuffed in containers. Randomly stuffed under things. I do like the green lighting here. So, this is the lovely alien world of Spire, with plenty more to see as you get to it. Let's go back to the books. To the books! Alright, to the blue book. Also known as Haven! Not to be confused with Stone Ship. First impressions certainly make it feel like you've just traded starry skies for water here as compared to Spire, but appearances are deceiving. This lovely desolate world here. And while the other one had nice statues, this one has nice wall art, and I'm okay with that. We've already looked at ship ruins in other games, so let's go this way. Appearances and first impressions are quite deceiving. Haven is a very alive place with a nice collection of biomes from this almost desolate shore here to the nice rainforest in here. There's some grasslands around somewhere and a lake around. I would say, yeah, I could live here, but with all of the everything that is here, yeah, I'd get myself eaten alive. Because while Spire is a world of learning the properties of the world itself, this one is more about learning the properties of the animals that live in the world. I mean, I guess I would say trees are pretty straightforward, but Spire teaches you that even rocks aren't straightforward. I have gotten lost in these woods. There's very distinct paths that I still get turned around and lost. Lost-ited. The whole electropunk feel of a lot of machines here, they kind of give way in this world. It's, like I said, it's the survivalist method of working with what you've got. And scooch. Okay, bye. Yeah, it's working with what you've got, which in this world there's not a lot of electricity producing things. I mean, granted that didn't stop them in Channelwood from generating power, but whatever. It just ends up a lot more pulleys and bones. But another thing that I have to say about all of these worlds is they have joyrides. Not even kidding. classic to these games. You remember the mine cart. You remember the guppy suspended rail runner things between the islands on Riven. Yeah, exactly. Let's go joyrides. Wibbly joyrides. Over a vast nothingness. And some that are going through a very not enough space. And joyrides! With monkeys. Mangries. Whatever you want to call them. Fabulous either way. Although this one, this goes in the seems legit category. I don't think I'd trust it. Bye, monkey. But yes. Haven is a very living world that presents many more challenges. I think Spire is definitely a world that will, the main challenge is actually yourself. Whereas here it's more wild animals and plants that want to kill you. Alright. Is that sun actually going down? I don't know. Let's go check out the third. Finally. Let me tell you now, oh my gosh, there are some puzzles in this game that once you've solved them, they're not solved. You get to do them again and again and again to get access to the worlds. Alright, here we go. Let's go to Serena. I love this place, it's fabulous. It's very green. It's very green, very well established. It's like a tame haven. Love that noise. It is also an occupied world. Excuse me while I pop bubbles. It's also, wow. What is that? Where is that? It's not near me. Well, it's occupied by more than these spiffy little butterfly things. Which gets us back to some of the lovely machines. More refined. I say that in quotes. Also gotten plenty turned around on these paths too. Ha ha! Now, I kind of like how they step it up in each world. In Spire, you're learning the properties of the world itself. In Haven, you're learning the properties of the animals that inhabit said world and the way they interact with it. In Serena, you're learning the properties of the people in the society and their interaction on the world, and also how the world has affected them. Which is much more evident here than it is trying to figure out how the world's affecting animals in Haven. But it gives you more to explore. Which means there might actually be some hints in here in the form of, I don't know, somebody actually telling you. And yes, I know, I'm going to gripe a lot about the puzzles. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, look at the people playing Dark Souls. If it was supposed to be easy, what fun would it be? This world also explores some pretty interesting concepts of how things work. And I'm totally cool with that. Of course, I'm going to say this world is occupied, and I'm not going to find anybody. But I swear to you, there are people here. Lots of them, and you see them, and they help you. Oh, that's a giant hole. I don't know, I think it's the island feel, maybe it's the balloons, but Serena was definitely my favorite world of it. Oh, maybe I can find people?
You mean you have to signal somebody every time you want to go home? Why don't you just sleep here?
Because we have families too, you know. And the ones who are still alive sleep in the village.
Okay, so that wasn't very helpful for actually showing that people exist here, but it's still a nice highlight of figuring out how the world works, even without the people here. That's why I like the memory necklace. It's my brand. But while Myst had many worlds, Riven had many islands within a single world, Exile had a reasonable amount of worlds. This one has the 4 you deal with, and definitely builds upon it by referencing worlds you've been to before through the people you're interacting with. This game stole hours of my life because I was very intrigued and very entertained by it. Keep an eye out because it's going to come to digital download at some point. Efforts being made doesn't mean that there can be a timeline or deadline even, which is sad, but that efforts are being made is nice. So maybe we'll see it on Green Man or GOG or on Steam. Take your pick, because you can find the other Myst games on most of those. If you do come across this, because you can still find it for reasonable prices online if you really want to try it, which I didn't realize how much I wanted to try it until someone sent it to me. You know who you are. Thank you very much. You don't know what you've started. But this is Myst Revelation, with a meandering explanation and gushing of entertainment and much enjoyment of this game. Till next time, or next game, or next book, y'all take it easy.